get this started. So, everybody, put in the comment section how many pounds of body fat would you like to lose? That is question number one. How many pounds of body fat would you like to lose? He lost 85 pounds and he gained 15 pounds of muscle. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. I'm going to reach out to you because I would love to speak to him. The next question is this: how many pounds of body fat would you like to lose a month? How many pounds would you like to lose a month? So put in the comment section, let me know how many pounds of body fat would you like to lose every single month? I'm seeing 3, 7, 3, 20 a month, 5 pounds, 2 pounds, 8 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. Okay. So from what I've seen, a good sweet spot is anywhere from 4 pounds a month up to 12 pounds a month. That's a good sweet spot. Now, for us to lose 4 pounds a month, that means we need to be losing 1 pound every week. For us to be losing 8 pounds a month, that means we need to be losing 2 pounds every week. And if we want to lose 12 pounds a month, we need to be losing 3 pounds every week. Now, the faster we want to lose weight, the stricter our routine has to be. So, I'll give you an example of what I used to do when I wanted to lose 3 pounds of body fat every week. I'd be doing 1 hour of cardio every day. My meals would be literally just chicken breasts and vegetables. And I would lift weights 5 days a week so that I would keep some muscle while I was losing all of this weight that quickly. Now, something that's very important, I didn't do any cheat meals. Like, you can't do cheat meals if you're trying to lose weight this fast. You have to be very, very strict. Now, if you want to lose 1 pound a week, you can be a little bit more flexible. Okay. How long does a calorie deficit work? A calorie deficit will work forever. You just have to drop the calories lower the lighter you get, because the less you weigh, the less calories your body's going to burn. Somebody asked me, where is your Sony camera? I can't connect my Sony camera to TikTok at the moment because I'm using a Mac. So that's why I can't do that. All right, guys. So now that I know what your goals are, now that I know how many pounds you would like to lose a week, we're going to get into today's lesson. We're talking about how to lose 3 pounds a week. Now, if you want to lose 3 pounds a week, there are 3 things you must do. It is stick to a diet, it is stick to a cardio regimen, and it is stick to a weightlifting routine. If you do that consistently and you stay strict, you can be losing 3 pounds of body fat every week. Okay. So first, we're going to talk about the diet. Number one, with the diet, we want to eat 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, each one of these meals needs to have a lean protein source and vegetables. One of these meals can be a lean protein, vegetables, and can have a small amount of carbs. That's how we need to eat. That's all we should be eating if we're trying to be losing 3 pounds of body fat every week. Now, give me some examples in the comment section right now of lean protein sources that you like. I'm actually going to help everybody here build a meal plan for themselves. Everybody comment in the comment section, what is a lean protein source that you would like to eat for your breakfast every day? Everybody put in the comment section, what is a lean protein source that you would like to eat for breakfast every day? Breakfast. I'm seeing eggs, salmon, ground turkey, chicken, turkey bacon, turkey sausage, salmon, sardines, eggs. All of these are good options. Now, some of the best options that you could eat for breakfast would be egg whites. You can do lean ground turkey, lean ground beef. And when I say lean, I'm talking about 96% lean or better. You can do lean ground chicken breast. You can do regular chicken breast. You can do tilapia. You can do salmon. You can do a protein shake. These are all lean protein sources. You can even do Greek yogurt. Now, we want to make sure that with our breakfast, we have a lean protein source for our breakfast. That's number one. Now, number two, What is a vegetable that you would like to eat with your breakfast? What is a vegetable that you would like to eat for your breakfast? Now, if you don't want to eat a vegetable with your breakfast, you don't have to. Fruit will do. So, what is a fruit or a vegetable that you would like to eat with your breakfast? I see spinach. A lot of people are saying spinach, mixed vegetables, and broccoli. I like onions and peppers, strawberries, grapes, blackberries, kiwi, cantaloupe, grapes. All good answers. So now that we know what we like for our breakfast, we need to make sure we have a lean protein source. That could be a protein shake, that can be egg whites, that can be fish, that can be chicken breast, it can be eggs and ground beef, but we need to have protein on our plate and we need to have some fruit or vegetables on the plate for breakfast as well. That can be spinach, broccoli, it can be peppers and onions, like, let's say you make a big omelet with eggs and chicken and onions and peppers. You can get creative. Or you can do the egg whites and you can have a side of fruit. What I do for breakfast is 2 eggs with chicken breast, and I'll have a side of grapes or a side of blueberries for my breakfast. So these are some good choices for breakfast. Now, with one of the meals that we eat in a day, we can have some carbs in moderation. Now, let's say we want to eat some carbs with our breakfast. What are some good carb sources that you would like to eat for breakfast? Put in the comment section, what are some good carb sources that you would like to eat with your breakfast? Toast. I see sweet potato. I see bread, potatoes, wheat toast. Somebody said donuts. No, donuts is a no-go. I see oats, cream of wheat, biscuits. I see watermelon, oats. You have bananas as well. Okay, I see rice. Avocado is not a carb. Avocado is a healthy fat. Now look, we can do carbs with our breakfast. We just want to use portion control. So, some good options are toast. You can do a banana. You can do oatmeal. You can do cream of rice or cream of wheat. You can do a bagel. Now, let me tell you how we want to eat these foods so that it's good for our breakfast. If we're going to be doing a bagel, for example, we should not do a whole bagel. We should not do a regular bagel for our breakfast. If you are going to do a bagel, I recommend you look up keto bagels or low calorie bagels, and you can eat half of it. A low calorie bagel is about 180 calories. There are low calorie brands out there that make bagels that have half the calories. A regular bagel can be 350 calories. So if you eat half of a low calorie bagel, that's only 90 calories right there. Next, we can do a banana. That's a good carb source. One banana is good. Even if it's a protein bagel, yes, you should do half of it. Next, let's talk about toast. Even when it comes to eating toast, if you're going to eat one slice of toast, it can be regular toast and that's fine. But to make that even better, they have low calorie and keto slices of bread that you can use. If you go on Google and you type in low calorie bread or keto bread, or when you go to your supermarket and you look up low calorie or keto bread, you'll be able to see these lower calorie options. You can have 2 slices of that, and one slice of low calorie bread is around 35 calories, which is very low. One slice of regular bread could be 120 calories, which is much higher. So if you do the lower calorie option, you can have more bread with your breakfast and still be in a calorie deficit. Okay. So let's put it all together now. When we want to eat our breakfast, we want to make sure that we have a substantial amount of protein on our plate. So we should be getting in a lot of protein with our breakfast. That can be a protein shake, that can be egg whites, it can be chicken, it can be ground beef, it could even be a mixture of different protein sources. Like it can be eggs with some chicken breast strips cooked in it, made into an omelet, right? So we have our protein down. Next, we need to have some fruit or vegetables with that meal as well too. That can be spinach with the eggs, or we can do just a handful of berries or some strawberries, or maybe a handful of grapes. Right. So now we have the protein and we have our fruit or vegetable. Now, if we want, we can have some carbs in moderation. You might want to do one slice of toast with that. And that right there is an example of an excellent breakfast. Okay. Now, somebody asked me, what is wrong with the egg yolk? So there is nothing wrong with the egg yolk, but I want to ask you guys, what is the difference between egg whites and the full egg? What is the difference between the egg whites and the full egg? Can I eat both fruit and vegetables for breakfast? You definitely can. What is the difference between egg whites and egg and the full egg? Okay, so the difference between egg whites and the full egg is that egg whites, let's say we were to measure out 100 grams of egg whites versus 100 grams of regular eggs, the egg whites is going to be lower in calories, higher in protein. Now, what's the benefit of eating the full egg? Okay, what is the benefit of eating the full egg? Yes, rice cakes are okay, Nelly. Everybody, what is the benefit of eating the full egg? What's good about eating a full egg? Healthy cholesterol. Keep it going. The full egg has healthy fats in it and it's full of nutrients. It has healthy fats and it's full of nutrients. So overall, eating the full egg is healthy. Now, what's the benefits of eating just the egg whites? It has less calories and more protein. Now, exactly, Lena. Nutritional value. The nutritional value in the regular egg is going to be better than just doing the egg whites. Now, who should do the egg whites and who should do the full egg? The person whose priority is losing body fat and building muscle should do more of the egg whites. They should lean more towards egg whites. The person who has lost weight and now who is just trying to maintain and be healthy, they should definitely lean more towards the full egg. Now, what is something that we can do in order to get the best of both of those options? In order for us to get the nutritional value from the full egg and for us to get the high protein content from the egg whites, we can just mix the two together. So, for example, we can do 1 cup of egg whites with 2 or 3 eggs. That way, we have the protein boost from the egg whites and we get all of the nutrients and the healthy fats from the regular eggs. Okay. So that is we just went over breakfast. So for the people that are trying to lose 3 pounds of body fat a week, we just went over breakfast. We just picked out some good protein sources for breakfast, which can be egg whites, it can be eggs, ground turkey, ground beef, etc. We picked out some vegetables and fruit. We said we can eat spinach, broccoli, fruit, like berries and grapes. And we also said if we're going to do toast or carbs with our breakfast, we just need to use portion control. So even when it comes to eating oatmeal, right? Give me an example of what it's like to use portion control when you're eating oatmeal, right? How do you like to, if you're trying to lose body fat, how would you prepare your oatmeal? If you're trying to lose body fat, how would you prepare your oatmeal? Somebody said half a cup of oats. Exactly. Half a cup of dry oats is amazing portion control. And I highly recommend you get the dry oats. Don't get the one that has the added sugar in it. If you want to sweeten it, you can always use stevia or some kind of low calorie sweetener. And if you want to add some flavor to it, you can cut up a banana. You can add some blueberries or some strawberries. You can add some cinnamon to it. I'd rather you dress it up yourself. Double Trouble says half a cup of oats cooked with almond milk, sugar free. Amazing. Amazing. Exactly, guys. Amazing. Good, great job. What's the serving size for vegetables for breakfast? So I never worry about the serving sizes of vegetables. Do you guys want to know why? Put in the comment section if you know why you don't really need to worry about the serving sizes of vegetables. Why should you not? worry about weighing out how many vegetables you're eating. Let's see if you guys know. Exactly. Not too much calories. Very low in calories. Very low calories. Yes. Vegetables are very low in calories. So it does not matter. You don't have to measure it out. If you're eating 5 cups of spinach, that's like 40 calories. It's nothing. The difference between 5 cups of spinach and 10 cups of spinach is you don't even have to account for it. Now, there is a way to cook your vegetables as to where you definitely need to measure out the serving size. Now, that way is this: if you cook your vegetables and you cook it with butter and you add oil to it, then you definitely need to use portion control. But if you're cooking it in a healthy way, you're not adding extra stuff to it, you don't have to worry about it. And there's another caveat to that. It also depends on what vegetable you're making. If it's a vegetable like corn or sweet peas, these vegetables are higher in carbs. These vegetables are higher in carbs. So, we definitely have to worry about that. Beets are good. Thank you. Thank you. And just so you guys know, that's not mold. That's I don't even know what that is, but it's not mold. Can I rinse off the canned veggies and be fine? Yes, you'll be fine. Yes, and somebody said vegetables add volume. That's why I love vegetables. I love vegetables because they add volume to your food. If you are dieting and you don't want to be hungry, you can add a whole bunch of vegetables to your food and you'll be fine. I want to lose weight, but still enjoy my food, honestly. There are a few ways you can lose weight and still enjoy your food, but you just have to be very specific when you say that. So, if you get a meal plan that's very strict, you have to ask yourself, how can I still follow this meal plan and make it a little bit more enjoyable? So let me give you an example. Let's say for my lunch, I have to eat chicken breast and asparagus because that's in my meal plan. How can I make my plate of chicken breast and asparagus a little bit more enjoyable for me so that I enjoy it a little bit more? I'm not going to enjoy it the same way I would enjoy McDonald's or pizza. Like you got to throw that idea away immediately, right? But how can we make the food taste a little bit better? I like to add barbecue sauce to it. You know, I will add a little bit of quinoa to it. I will add like half a cup of rice to it, or I might add half an avocado to the meal. Okay. Advice for hold on. Let me finish that thought. If you're trying to lose fat, you're not going to enjoy the food like as much as junk food. You're not. But when you have your meal plan, there are always ways to make your meal plan just a little bit more enjoyable. And if you're going to go that route, just be careful that you don't start cutting too many corners. Because if you cut too many corners with your diet, this is why people stay stuck, even though they're putting in the work. Okay. Advice for people with PCOS. I have clients that have PCOS and I give them very similar meal plans. It's very simple. They follow it and they lose weight. So it's be a little bit more specific. Like, what about you having PCOS makes it more difficult for you to stick to a diet or an exercise routine? So let me give you an example. If a woman with PCOS says when she exercises and lifts heavy, it's very fatiguing for her, then instead of doing long workouts, we'll shorten the workouts and just make them a little bit more moderate. This way, at least she can be consistent and still lose weight. If a woman with PCOS says she needs to make sure that she doesn't spike her blood sugar, then we're going to say, okay, every time we have carbs, we're going to eat the carbs in moderation. So, for example, we're not going to eat just as much rice as we want. We're going to eat half a cup of rice, and we're going to make sure we eat carbs with a protein source, some vegetables, and some healthy fats. So if it's rice, we're going to eat it with chicken breast. We're going to eat it with broccoli, and we're going to have half an avocado. This way it doesn't spike her blood sugar. If a woman with PCOS says she's dealing with inflammation, we are going to make sure that like you're not eating anything that is sweet or processed. Like, we're going to follow a whole food diet where everything that we eat has just one ingredient. So no Snickers, no ice cream. If you're lactose intolerant, no dairy. We're going to pick foods that are going to be anti-inflammatory. Hey, why would I need to eat chicken and veggies instead of rice if I can stay in a deficit? If you can stay in a deficit, you can eat whatever you want. Do I need to add egg whites every time I cook eggs? I would do that. I would add egg whites every time I cook eggs. I would add egg whites every time I cook eggs because eggs are not high protein. There's only 6 grams of protein in one egg. So if you're eating 3 eggs, that's only 18 grams of protein. If you add 1 cup of egg whites to that, now that's closer to 40 grams of protein. That's why I would add egg whites to my eggs. Any ideas for an anti-inflammatory diet? So, Trini, do me a favor, and I want you to list out the proteins that you like list out the meats that you like, list out some things for breakfast you like, and list out some veggies that you like, and just list it out all in one message. I'll take a glance at it, and then I'll structure it into a anti-inflammatory meal plan for you. Is this 3 pounds a week for anybody, or is it more effective for people overweight? This is going to be effective for pretty much anybody unless you're very light. So if you only have to lose 5 pounds, don't try to lose 3 pounds a week. If you have to lose 20 pounds or more, or let's say 15 to 20 pounds or more, then you can go for losing 3 pounds a week. If you're really, really heavy, then it's going to be very easy to lose 3 pounds a week. Okay. Trini, also, what do you like to eat for breakfast? And what are some things you like to eat as a snack? What's the take on the GLP-1 tool? I really don't have an opinion on it, honestly. But bro, the diet is around 1,200 to 1,400 calories. Isn't that too little or perfect for you? If I'm trying to lose weight very fast, then I need to be in a big calorie deficit. If I ever feel like the diet is a little bit too strict, then I'll take a diet break. I've been trying to go for protein bars. To the person that I invited up, that was an accident. I've been trying to go for protein bars or fruit. I love mangoes or strawberries. Okay, so let me kind of script this meal plan out for you real quick, Trini. Give me 1 second. Anti-inflammatory meal plan. All right, so for breakfast, we are not going to do protein bars because I'm not a big fan of processed foods when we're trying to stay away from inflammatory foods. So I would stay away from protein bars. So instead, we can do like let's go for 1 cup of egg whites and berries. And then lunch and dinner, we'll do chicken and veggies. Makes sense. And as a snack, we'll do fruit and half a potato. Okay. For everybody in here, if you are looking for an anti-inflammatory meal plan that you could follow every day to be losing body fat and reduce inflammation in your body, this is an example. For your breakfast, you can do 1 cup of egg whites with a side of strawberries. If you need more protein, then you can do 2 cups of egg whites with a side of strawberries. If you want some variety with your breakfast, then you can add some turkey bacon to it and half an avocado. For your lunch and dinner, you can keep it very simple. You can do chicken or fish and eat that with half a baked potato and a side of vegetables. As a late night snack, you can snack on berries again. Now, a meal plan like that will have you losing weight very quickly. And there's no processed food, so it's going to reduce inflammation in your body. Every time I calorie deficit for 2 days straight, I always mess up on the third and overeat. Every time, okay. You need to understand your habits. Like, why are you messing up on your diet after 2 days? It sounds, I don't know if this is the case for you, but if you're messing up after 2 days, then you might be getting too comfortable. You see real results when you are consistent with your meal plan. So you need to understand, like, why are you not being consistent with it? Then fix that. Drink water. Yes, drink a lot of water. All right, so let's move on to the next meal. All right, next. We're going to talk about lunch and dinner now. If we're trying to lose 3 pounds a week. So if we're trying to lose 3 pounds a week, this is funny. If we're trying to lose 3 pounds a week, we want to make sure that for our lunch and dinner, we have a lean protein source, some vegetables, and with one meal in the day, we can have some carbs in moderation. So let's start off with the proteins. Let's say it's lunch and for our dinner. What proteins would we like? What proteins would you like to eat for lunch and dinner? What are good proteins that are going to help you lose body fat and build muscle? Put in the comment section. What protein sources are going to help you lose body fat and build muscle? I see chicken. Okay. Also, what type of chicken? What type of chicken is best when you're trying to lose fat and build muscle? I see turkey. Okay. I see fish. I see tofu. Tofu is okay. Chicken breast is excellent. I see lean beef, 93% amazing. I see tuna, amazing. Just make sure it's not tuna that's made in oil. I see shrimp. Shrimp is great. Salmon. I like salmon. Salmon has some healthy fats, even though it's a little bit higher in the calorie count. I see chicken wings. Chicken wings are decent. I only like chicken wings because when you need a break from chicken breast, eating chicken wings is the way to go. I like baked tilapia. That's excellent. Baked tilapia is very high in protein, very low in calories. I see rotisserie chicken. That one is also good. Just make sure with the rotisserie chicken, you're not picking the fatty parts of the chicken and putting that on your plate. If I was doing rotisserie chicken, I would try to stick to like the chicken breast or like the white meat of the chicken. Steak is good. When you're doing steak, you want to go for a top sirloin steak, or top round steak. Those two cuts of steak are very lean. Chicken breast, your favorite grass fed ground beef. Just make sure it's 93% lean or better. Amazing. Amazing. Are lentils good for dinner? Lentils, if you're a vegan and you want to eat lentils because you can't eat like high protein foods, then lentils is okay if you're a vegan. Okay, so good. Now we know that on our dinner plate or on our lunch plate, we need to make sure that we have some protein. That can be chicken breast, chicken wings, egg whites. It can be steak. It can be 93% lean ground beef or 93% lean ground turkey, or it can be shrimp. So we have the protein on that plate now. Now, for women, I recommend doing 5 to 6 ounces of the protein after you cook it. And for most men, I recommend you do 8 to 9 ounces of the protein weighed out after you cook it. Now, the reason why I came up with those numbers is because when I do meal plans, I see on average men should be aiming for around 200 grams of protein, and women should be aiming for on average 150 grams of protein a day. So if you're eating 3 meals a day with 8 or 9 ounces of chicken breast or another lean protein source, that's going to have you at around 200 grams of protein or close to it. And for women, if you're doing 5 or 6 ounces of protein 3 times a day, that's going to have you close to around 150 grams of protein. That's where I came up with those portion sizes from. So, like I said, women should be doing close to 5 to 6 ounces of the protein source. Men should be doing closer to 8 to 9 ounces of the lean protein source. Okay. Protein shakes and protein bars, are they okay? Protein shakes and protein bars are okay if you can't get a real meal in. That's what they're there for. They're there to help supplement your diet. So what I like to do is if I'm not going to be at my protein goal for the day, I'll drink a protein shake just to make sure that I hit my target. Or if I'm a little light on my target and I want a snack, something sweet, I'll eat a protein bar. Not only does it serve as a good late night snack if you just do one a day, but also it helps you get in more protein. How much protein does a man need daily? It depends person to person, but on average, men need about 200 grams of protein a day. Women need about 150 grams of protein a day. Do you have a recommendation on a good protein powder? I recommend Proto Light. I recommend Proto Light. Okay, so now we know for lunch and dinner on that plate, we need to have a protein source. 5 to 9 ounces of protein needs to be on that plate. We also need to have some vegetables on the plate. Now, put in the comment section, the what is the best way to cook your vegetables so that you don't add a lot of calories to it? What's the best way to cook your vegetables so that you don't add a lot of calories to it? I see steam them, steam, steam. I love it. Yes, steam it. Exactly. Now, the worst way to cook your vegetables that's going to add a whole bunch of calories to it is cooking it with a bunch of oil and adding butter to it. We don't want to do that. So we have our protein on the plate. We have some vegetables on the plate. Amazing. That's a perfect meal for lunch and dinner that will help us lose body fat fast. To get us to it, we can be losing 3 pounds of body fat every week. Now, if we want to add some carbs to our meal, we can just use portion control. And I'm a big believer in just add one serving of carbs and have that once a day. Oh, thank you for that gift kind of scared me. All right. I'm a big believer in just adding a small amount of carbs to one meal a day. So carbs, that's potatoes, rice, bread, pasta, quinoa. So we just want to use portion control with that. So that can be half a baked potato. It could be half a cup of cooked rice. It could be half a cup of cooked quinoa. It can be half a cup of pasta, right? As long as we are using portion control and we're doing it with one meal a day, we'll definitely be losing body fat quickly. Okay. Now, let me ask you guys this. What carb source is the most filling? What carb source is the most filling? Meaning, for the least amount of calories, it will make you the most full. What carb source for the least amount of calories will make you the most full? Yes, the answer is potatoes. The answer is potatoes. Okay. The difference between potatoes and rice and potatoes and the other carbs is one, potatoes have more fiber and they contain more water. So they fill you up. They take up more space in your stomach. They're higher in volume. It's regular potatoes. That is the best. Sweet potatoes is almost as good, but it's not as good. So potatoes is number one. Sweet potatoes would come in second. So if you are looking for a carb source that will fill you up the most while having the least amount of calories, like it's potatoes and sweet potatoes. Definitely. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say you have a plate of chicken breast and broccoli and a baked potato. What is one thing you can do to that plate to ruin it and make it terrible for fat loss? What is one thing you can do to a plate of chicken breast, broccoli, and some potatoes that will make it terrible for fat loss? Add butter, add sauce, add oil. Exactly. The worst thing you can do to any plate of food that is healthy is you add butter, add sauce, add oil. We do not want to do that. If we are going to add sauce or butter or oil, we need to use like extreme portion control. Like extreme portion control. People love sour cream. Yes, I know. We want to stay away from all of that stuff, especially because it's going to add calories to our food. Now, there might be certain, but no, you know what? What's a good alternative to adding sour cream to your potatoes? This is a quiz for you. Put in the comment section, what's a good alternative to adding sour cream to your potatoes? Somebody said yogurt, Greek yogurt. Okay. I was thinking that you can add like a sour cream seasoning to it. So you get the flavor of the sour cream without all the extra calories. But I'm guessing Greek yogurt and yogurt is great. Personally, I don't like the way yogurt tastes, so I've never eaten it, like ever. I add small avocado oil to my vegetables. You have to really make sure you're adding a small amount. Okay. So now we have that out the way. Let's keep it going now. Today, we are talking about what we need to do to lose 3 pounds of body fat a week. Now, let's talk about cardio. Let's talk about cardio. If we want to be losing 3 pounds of body fat a week, I recommend we do 30 to 60 minutes of cardio a day. Do 30 to 60 minutes of cardio a day. Now, what can we do or what can you do to make sure you are able to fit in your 30 to 60 minutes of cardio a day? What can you do to make sure you're able to fit in your 30 to 60 minutes of cardio a day? Wake up earlier. Wake up earlier. Walking. You can walk. Amazing. Plan it. I love these answers. Walk. Amazing. Park at the furthest point in the parking lot. I love it. Get a walking pad. Walk at lunch. Cycling. Walking. Split up the time. I love these answers. Walk my dog. I love it. That's walking. I love it. I love it. So, what I do personally is I plan it into my day. Like I literally have in my calendar from this time to this time, I need to go to the gym, do my weightlifting, and then finish off with my cardio. So I literally have it built into my calendar. Like the time is blocked off and nothing interferes with that. Something else you can do is you can wake up earlier, go to the gym, get your cardio done. Somebody said if you have bad knees, use a stationary bike. Great idea. Great idea. I do Taibo 3 times a week. Okay. Now, let's say you now let me ask you this. What are some things that go on in your life that make it hard for you to do 30 to 60 minutes of cardio every day? What makes it hard for you to do 30 to 60 minutes of cardio every day? Work, laziness, work, distractions, my work schedule constantly changing. It's honestly no excuse. I work long hours, so I find splitting up my walking works for me. Time management, nothing, work, love it. Somebody still does Taibo. Painful joints and bones. Okay. So if you are trying to find ways to make it easier for you to do your cardio, I recommend waking up earlier. I recommend buying a walking pad. If you have knee or joint issues, I recommend going to the gym and getting on the bike or buying some type of cardio equipment for your home. Samples of cardio that we can do at the gym. So, number one, we can walk on the treadmill. We can put the incline up very slightly and we can walk. Number two, we can get on the Stairmaster. Number three, we can get on the exercise bike. Number four, We can get on the elliptical machine. Number 5, we can get on the row machine. These are all examples of cardio that we can do when we go to the gym. I recommend that you find the one that you can stick to, find the one that isn't going to be too intense for you. And what I like to do for people who get bored when they're first starting is have them do 10 minutes and then change machines, This way, it introduces a little bit of variety to it, and so it's a little bit less boring. Dana says, I do 10 minutes of each. Amazing. Smart. I just said that. I love that. In the morning, should we eat something before working out? You don't have to. You don't have to. That is an example of something that is not that important. Whichever one works best for you is what you should do. Okay, now let's talk about how we have to lift weights. Like I said, for us to lose 3 pounds a week, we need to diet, do cardio, do our weightlifting. All right. So we're going to break it up like this. When we lift weights, we want to target our upper body and we want to find ways to target our lower body. So let me ask you guys this. What are some muscles that you want to target? What are some muscles that you would like to build? These are great questions, by the way. We have a lot of great questions. Somebody asked me, what should you eat what should you eat in the morning after you work out? I love that question. But protein shake or whatever you would eat for breakfast. Okay, so quads, thighs. Now, just so you know, your thighs and your quads are the same thing. Quads and thighs, same thing. It's the front of your thighs. Those are your quads. We have biceps, triceps, arms, and thighs. Okay, so let's talk about the quads. Then we're going to talk about biceps, then triceps. What else? Then we have someone who said glutes. Then we have chest. Then we have shoulders. Okay, amazing. Amazing. And then someone also said core. So I just want to clarify. I'm talking about what exercises, or better yet, what muscle groups do we want to build? What muscles do we want to make bigger and stronger? Okay. What muscles do we want to make bigger and stronger? So first, let's talk about the quads. Now, the quads are the front of our thighs. The quads are the front of our thighs. Okay. Now, what are some exercises that we can do to target the front of our thighs, aka our quads? What exercises target the front of our thighs? I see squats, leg press, lunges, leg extensions. Amazing. Amazing. Yes, squats, lunges, leg press, leg extensions, walking lunges, step ups. Amazing. Perfect. You guys got it. Now, if we want to target the front of our thighs, our quads, if we want to target our thighs, and we're doing lunges, should we lunge taking very long steps or should we lunge taking shorter steps? When it comes to lunges, if we want to target our quads, should we lunge taking very long steps or should we lunge taking shorter steps? Yes, short and very deep. That's going to hit our quads more. Yes, very short steps. Now, if we wanted to target our glutes, we would take longer steps. We would take longer steps and lean forward a little bit if we wanted to target our glutes. Okay. Next, let's talk about biceps. The biceps are this muscle right here. So this is biceps. The back of the arm is triceps. Let's talk about biceps first. What are some exercises we can do to build our biceps? What exercises build our biceps? Bicep curls, dumbbell curls. Exactly. Very simple. Very simple. Any type of curl, like where we're curling with either a cable or a dumbbell or a barbell, any type of curl is going to hit our biceps. And that's all we need to do. That's it. We want to hit our biceps. All we need to do is some curls. Someone said boxing. No, boxing does not. Boxing is not for muscle growth. Boxing is like learning how to fight, and it's good cardio, but boxing is not like muscle growth. You might do workouts when you go to a boxing gym, but it's not, you're not going to like build big muscles boxing. Okay, next, let's talk about triceps. Triceps. Yes, boxing is cardio. So triceps is the back of the arm. What are some exercises we can do to work on the triceps? Push downs, yes, not pull downs. So pull downs actually work the bicep, because when you're pulling, if you see this, like it's pulling your arm in. So this works. Pull downs work the biceps. Push downs, where you have the thing here, you're pushing down. That's what works the triceps. Dips work your triceps. Push-ups work your triceps. Anything where you are extending your arm, any movement that makes your arm go like that works your triceps. Yes, and push-ups is one of them. Great answer. Chair dips, anything that makes your arm straighten out works your triceps. Even if you're doing a shoulder press and you're straightening your arm, that's going to work your triceps. So, like I said, anything that shortens your arm works your biceps. Anything that straightens your arm works your triceps. So, if you're doing a pull down where you're bending your arm in, that's going to work your biceps. So, not a pull down, but a push down does. Next, let's talk about glutes. What are some exercises we can do to work our glutes? Let's say today we wanted to go to the gym and we wanted to train our glutes. So let's get 4 exercises that we can do whenever we want to go to the gym to train our glutes. Okay, I see glute bridges, which is great. Glute bridges is great. We also have hip thrusts, which is also great. They're basically the same movement. Now, I like hip thrusts more, right? Because it's easier to load weight onto your hip thrust. And if you can do weighted hip thrust, that's even better. Next, we have Bulgarian split squats. Amazing, amazing for the glutes. I also see squats, also really good for the glutes. I see hips, abduction. I see sumo squats, amazing. All these are amazing. I see deadlifts. Deadlifts are great for the glutes. I see lunges. And remember, if we wanted to work our glutes when we do lunges, we want to take very long steps and lean forward a little bit, not short steps. Amazing. So if you just pick 4 of these exercises and you go to the gym and you do those 4 exercises, you do those, like, that's a great glute workout. Great glute workout. Good mornings is also great. Good job, Kim. RDLs and glute bridges. Okay. Mima, great. Romanian deadlifts, amazing. Glute kickbacks, also very good. Okay. So when you want to go to the gym and train your glutes, just pick 4 of those exercises and do those 4. And there you go. Now let's talk about chest. And this is going to be the last one, then I have to go. Let's talk about chest. What are some good exercises that we can do to work our chest? Let me give you a hint. Anything that causes our elbow to come in works the chest. Anything that brings us in like that works the chest. So a push-up works our chest. A bench press works our chest. A cable fly works our chest. Anything that brings our elbows in like that is going to work our chest. So push-ups, yes. A dumbbell press, yes. A bench press, yes. Dips even work the chest. Dumbbell push-ups, yes, work the chest. Any type of pushing or pressing motion like this is going to work the chest. Now, if we want to target our upper chest, we press upwards, not up like that, but just upwards. If we want to work on our lower chest, we do something where we're pressing down. Push-ups don't help too much to build muscle. Push-ups are very good when it comes to building muscle. Very good. Bench press is going to be a little bit better, especially as you get stronger. But if you're a beginner, push-ups is going to be amazing. Okay, guys. So that's going to be it for today. I have to run. I might come back on later, but you will get a notification if you turn on your post notification. I hope today was helpful. If you like today's lesson, let me know. Um, yeah, if you like today's lesson, you just let me know. And this way I know how to craft them better and better for you guys. Okay, very happy to hear this. Very, very, very happy to hear this. Now, for everybody who wants like one-on-one coaching, if you are looking to work with a coach one-on-one, you can send me a private message with the word coach or just comment the word coach here and I'll reach out. Or you can click the link in my bio and fill out the application that way. Other than that, if you need any more help with fitness and losing body fat, building muscle, just make sure you keep on tuning into these lives. All right. And the coaching is online. You help with food and exercise. Yes. I'm going to look into that. All right, everybody. You guys have a great day. Take care.